kesempatan ini untuk mengucapkan tahniah secara khas kepada Sakofa for what you have done. Saya masih ingat lagi apabila arwah Tutai selaku Ketua Menteri memperkenalkan Sakofa pada tahun 2001. Kita merasakan now we are going to a new era where Sakofa will play a prominent role in telecommunication. Jadi saya mengucap cabaslah kepada Sakofa. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, memang 25 tahun kita menghadapi banyak cabaran, we face a lot of challenges, and telecommunication in a new era, and we have to improve connectivity through our basic connectivity fiber throughout the state of Sarawak. And what is important is we want to increase the speed of that telecommunication. When I became your CM in 2017, the first thing that I did was to transform our economy, giving emphasis on digitalization. There's no way for you to move forward unless you are very well versed with latest technology where you can pass data, which is very important in terms of giving value to our data resource. And as mentioned earlier by the Minister, our problem was the speed was not there. Whenever you go to your computer, you see this. That's why I went to the rural areas for me to explain to our rural people the importance of speed. I use this as a symbol. Then they know that it is very important for us to have high speed in terms of communicating. But thank God, the last 9 years since I became your CM in Premier, it has improved a lot. Thank you very much to Dr. and other agencies. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, you have done 1,688 hours and 11,000 kilometers of fiber optic network across the state. And this become our basic backbone for us to move forward. And this has given positive impact to the population in terms of online businesses, education, and other markets that need this accessibility of connectivity. And Sakofa's infrastructure has helped when you face COVID-19. When I introduced the cashless payment through our apps, Sarawak Pay, together with Science, and we need that backbone connectivity, and it has mitigated the problem faced by people when we face with COVID in the year 2019 and 2022. Having said that, we have to see what is the future like. What is important now is to see the next 25 years. What is happening in the whole ecosystem of telecommunication. Of course, we have been talking about 5G, we have been talking about new technology, but at the end of the day, what is important is for us to keep abreast with the latest technology in telecommunication. 25 years is the past, but from today we must look at 35 years. And I think that's why you choose beyond 25. Your key is beyond 25. So you have to talk about 20, beyond 25. Against that background, I want to share with you few challenges that we are going to face for the next 25 years. First is spectrum. You need spectrum because the signal goes through space. And in future, it is more relying on signal rather than fiber optic. And we have passed our law. We amended our land law. I told our AG, and now the present AG is here. If we can control minerals or other resources beneath, underground, you should control the space above the ground. By logic, cannot be you control underground, you cannot control the space above ground. Yes, there's certain limit under the International Telecommunication Union. And Malaysia is a signatory to International Telecommunication Union. But then you have to pass through our space above our ground. And that's where the challenge is. The challenge now for us to find a meeting point between space, we call it spectrum, under the jurisdiction of the federal government, as well as spectrum space control by the state. And that's where as our lawyer, as the G2 between, and for us to have conversation with the federal government where we can check on the question of spectrum. Because in future, it's no longer depend, as I said, on fiber optic or fixed asset. It has to rely on signal, and signal has to go through space. And towards that, I am now, calculating. Of course, there's a risk there. For us to have our data storage under our own sovereign storage data. And this important strategic data, including what we have beneath our underground resource, as well as any other data, must be kept and known by the Sarawak state. So what happened is, this is part and parcel of what we are going to do. By the year 2030, we want to get involved in aerospace. And I have requested University ICAP to form Faculty of Aerospace, and our human capital to be trained in aerospace technology up to the extent of launching our own satellite in space, owned by Sarawak. By 2020, it is, somebody say you are too ambitious, but to me, data is very significant for you to move forward, and you have the resources. And this is the way, I think, where the evolution of technology must be used. No longer based on fixed asset, but also we must be involved in invisible asset. That is the true cloud that is stored out there. Using nano satellite
connected to low Earth orbit. And with that sort of connectivity, then we may be able to store important and strategic data. After all, AI is based on data. And the Sarawak government is planning to develop what we call AI data center campus in the region of Tanjung Bang. Di kawasan Tanjung Bang akan kita bangunkan campus AI data campus, and I was told sekarang ini sudah ada shift towards decentralized data. No longer depend on data center, but more decentralized data through a very strong supercomputing with the GPU, a very strong GPU. And the semiconductor industry will also evolve, no longer based on silicon base, but gallium nitride base or GaN semiconductor that can store huge volume of data. And we are going towards that. And our Sarawak Semiconductor company is now doing research together with our partner United Kingdom, and for us to produce this new design based on data, GaN semiconductor. Actually, we have named it as Ketek AI. We did research in Cardiff, United Kingdom, and our scientists managed to produce this new design, and hopefully we can obtain multi-IP, intellectual property, and we can become, inshallah, good player in semiconductor. After all, we have expect here the foundry that can produce semiconductor, and then we have our own indigenous design. And after you study what happened to NVIDIA, NVIDIA is only concentrating on design, and the foundry is TSMC. So more or less, we study other people, and then perhaps we can adopt, because they got their own IP. You cannot just take 100% from that, but we have to do our own research, our own science, and that's why, in order for us to produce this human capital, we are giving free education to all anak Sarawak to study in this field. And this is our preparation to move forward. Ladies and gentlemen, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, inilah yang kita nak buat untuk the next 25 years. Kalau kita boleh menguasai teknologi yang terkini, maka tidak mustahil Sarawak can be a world player in this technology. Kalau kita tengok World Cup program ini, Spain was the champion. Spanyol kan champion. Tapi waktu dia berlawan dengan the small island called Cape Verde, only 500,000 population. This island unknown, draw with Spain. Maybe we will be emerging birthday in terms of technology. Jadi ladies and gentlemen, inilah harapan kita bersama. Yang lain tu memanglah 5G, we are working together with the federal government, but we must have our own roadmap. Untuk kita menjadi player dalam industri teknologi dan Bangkok kalau boleh Borneo ada wifi dalam kapal terbang dia. Sekarang Borneo tak ada wifi. Saya minta mereka install lah wifi. Setidak-tidaknya antara KL dengan Kuching lah. Jadi kita tahu lah dengan wifi orang akan berjalan. Jadi akhirnya sekali lagi saya mengambil kesempatan ini untuk mengucapkan tahniah dan syabas kepada Sankofa. I hope you are also impressed with the new technology for Bangkok. Thank you very much.